everyone, Original here, presenting the highly anticipated guide video. That's right, we're going to be talking about talent trees, macros, add-ons, and mystic enchants. And with that being said, let's get through this quick 5-minute sponsor video. I'm just kidding. I don't have any of those. Alright, so the first on the list is going to be talent trees. So this is the precise talent tree that I utilize for leveling up. The point order is highly situational and depends on individual preference really. But this is the order in which I did mine. First 2 points you're going to put into opportunity. You're going to be doing a lot of backstabbing and bushing, so this is perfect for both of those. Next 3 points you're going to put into relentless strikes. This is good, so you get energy back after pumping big damage with eviscerate or any finisher really. This will also open up the next bracket. Next, dump your points into dirty tricks. This will increase your sap and blind range, also reducing the cost of it by 50%. Next, we're going to put 2 points into master of deception, which reduces the chances people have to detect you in stealth, and 1 point into camouflage, reducing your stealth cooldown and increasing your speed. I put a point into ghostly strikes. It deals 125 weapon damage, but since we're using daggers, it's going to be a big 180%. Also, it increases your chance to dodge by 15% for 7 seconds while awarding you 1 combo point. Then we're going to put 3 points into serrated blades, which causes your attacks to ignore up to 9% of your target's armor and increases the damage of your rupture. Next, we'll put 2 points into elusiveness, reducing the cooldown of your vanish and blind abilities by a whole minute, and your cloak of shadows by 30 seconds. Next, we'll put 2 points into improved bush, increasing the critical chance of your ambush by 50%. That's right, big bush. Next, put 2 points into initiative, giving you a 33% chance to add an additional combo point to your target when you use ambush, garrett, or cheap shot, which we use all 3 of those non-stop. So add 2 points to open up the next bracket, and we'll come back and fill it up later. Put a point into hemorrhage. It's just an instant strike that deals about 178% damage because we're using daggers, and it'll cause your target to hemorrhage, increasing any physical damage dealt to the target by up to 13. Last 10 charges or 15 seconds. So think of it this way: if you can't hit it from the back with backstab, you can hit it from the front with hemorrhage. Next, we'll put a point into preparation, which resets the cooldown timer on your evasion, sprint, vanish, cold blood, and shadow step. Pretty nice. Put your last point in initiative. Alright, I'm going to skim through the rest of these and let you guys read them on your own, but I'm still going to go over the order. Next, 2 points into dirty deeds. We'll put 5 points into deadliness, so we can open up the next bracket. Put a point into premeditation and 3 into cheat death. Add 2 more points to relentless strikes and 3 into sinister's calling. Add a point into heightened senses, go down to shadow step, come back and add another point. Next, add 3 points into master of subtlety, 3 points into slaughter from the shadows, 2 points into filthy tricks, and last but not least, the big one, shadow dance. Alright, there you have it. That's the talent tree I used to level up with. I know it's not the most optimal route, but it was definitely the much more fun route. Keep in mind that 99% of my leveling was achieved through battlegrounds, so having the mobility from shadow step and extra cooldowns from preparation made it a lot more viable. Alright, next we're going to move into the mystic enchants. Unlike talent trees, mystic enchants are more aligned with personal preferences. Additionally, many of these require you to be at least level 30 or higher, so you will need to equip them as you progress in levels. Personally, I didn't have many equipped while leveling, because the ones that were available didn't really line up with my build. However, after reaching level 50 or above, I was able to get most of the ones I have now. Alright, let's review the ones I'm currently using, and we'll explore some potential option swaps. First up is going to be Glyph of Eviscerate, increasing the critical strike chance of your Eviscerate by 10%. Next up, we have Aggression, increasing the damage of your Sinister Strike, Backstab, and Eviscerate by 15%. Alright, Improved Eviscerate, increases the damage done by your Eviscerate ability by 20%. Are you guys starting to see the pattern here? This particular option is highly situational and largely dependent on personal preference. Typically, I opt for Smoke Bomb during team fights, and I'll use Recuperate for like 1v1 or World PvP. Next up is Malice, increasing your critical strike by 5%. Here we have Close Quarter Combat, increasing your chance to get critical strike with daggers and fist weapons by 5%, and since we're using daggers, it synergizes with us very nicely. Alright, precision, increasing your chance to hit with weapons and poison attacks by 5%. This is a huge glyph. It allows you to focus on crit or attack power on gear, since the PvP hit cap is only 4%. Alright, for the epic glyphs, I'm using Dispatch. It's a finishing move that causes damage per combo point, and if you use it on a target below 35% health, your next eviscerate or envenom will do 20% increased damage. Also, Dispatch doesn't consume your combo points. Alright, the next epic is Shattering Execution. Your eviscerate and Dispatch have a 20% chance per combo point to shatter your target's armor, allowing your attacks to ignore 10% of its armor for 30 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. This is a great glyph to synergize the abilities you're already using even more. Alright, the final epic I'm using is Rush of Blood. Using Hemorrhage twice in a row grants you Rush of Blood, and this allows your ambush to be casted outside of stealth with no position requirements versus monsters, meaning you still have to be behind players in order to ambush. For the legendary, I'm using Subtlety Mastery. Increases the damage done by your ambush, backstab, hemorrhage, and finishing moves by 6%. This legendary basically increases the damage of all your other glyphs. Arguably you could replace it with a Swaging Shadows, I just haven't picked it up yet. Using Shadow Dance causes a Shadow Eruption, slowing nearby enemies by 70% for 2 seconds and applying 3 shadow marks. Using Ambush on a marked enemy allows you to ignore the cooldown of your next Shadow Step for 2 seconds and increases your damage down by 6 for 10 seconds. Using Shadow Step also grants 20 energy. That's a pretty nice glyph, and I definitely will be trying it here in the near future. Alright, up next we're going to go over some macros. Alright, so for PvP macros, it's pretty simple. You're either going to have Arena 1, 2, 3 or Focus macros, which I'll be using now. As you can see, I'm targeting myself, and I have Motionless as my focus target. Here I just pressed my focus sap macro and it sapped him. You can also make the same macro for gout, kick, blind, dismantle, cheap shot, and kidney shot. But for whatever reason on this server, when you cheap or kidney, it makes you target your focus target. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if it's something that needs to be fixed. If anybody knows, please let us know in the comments below. This is how you would write the macro. Simply just substitute the skill name. You can also make macros like Shadow Step Ambush, Shadow Step Cheap Shot, or Shadow Step Garrett. Here's a friendly macro called Tricks of the Trade. Basically, you can set it up to where you're always going to use Tricks of the Trade on party 1, or you can do it by name. Alright, so that pretty much sums it up for the macros we'll be using in PvP. If you guys can think of any macro I might have missed, please let us know in the comments below. Next, we'll go over the add-ons I'm using to make my UI look real nice and clean. Alright, the first one up is Bartender 4. The cool thing about this add-on, it allows you to organize and declutter your entire screen. You can hide basically anything from bag bar to even the standard Blizzard UI. It also allows you to add keybinds to your hotbars super fast. Alright, next we'll cover the Dragon UI add-on. Basically, it's just the default UI overhaul of the Dragonfly expansion in a classic setting. This add-on enables you to customize your unit frames, providing them with a more contemporary appearance while allowing you to rearrange your user interface. Next we'll cover details. This add-on provides a detailed breakdown of player and enemy performance during encounters. It's a good way to track your opponents and see what they're doing to stay ahead of the game. Alright, next we'll talk about Omnibar. This add-on tracks enemy cooldowns such as interrupts, offensive spells, and defensive spells. This is an excellent method to determine when to utilize your burst cooldowns, as you can see that your opponent does not have their defensive abilities available, or when to be cautious because they have big damage. Alright, last but not least, we have the KUI or Kui nameplates. These allow you to organize the information shown on nameplates such as health, debuffs, and casting bars, basically making it easier for you to track enemies during gameplay. Alright, that'll conclude the guide. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I appreciate your time, as creating these types of videos requires significant effort. If I have assisted you in any way, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Additionally, do not forget to click that like and subscribe button. As always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. This is the rhythm of the night.